All right. Hey, I'm live, I believe. I can't even check it. I tried to check it on my phone, but it wasn't quite working. But my name is Micah. I'm the lead pastor of Two Cities.Church. Thanks for joining us. And we're trying to figure out what we're doing here with the live streams and how we're going to use it going forward and that sort of thing. But I do like jumping on here and giving you some information, especially post-Sunday. And so I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on Instagram. I see a couple people jumping on the Instagram flow. That's great. Thanks for joining in, guys. Would love for you to jump on the Facebook one if you got the app, because I'm going to be showing a premiere of David and Amy Gallion's We Are Two Cities video, which, as you guys know, is a series of videos. We try to share stories of people who are a part of Two Cities.Church. We try to share those stories and share them online so that people who are outside the church can see who these people are that are a part of this church, what they're about, and kind of get a feel for who's in the room and who's a part of this group of people. So I'm going to be showing that to you in a second. But let me show you our little stinger for this little online series that we've been doing. And let me address Instagram for a second. So here I am. I'm back. Would love for you to drop a comment in somewhere in here and let me know what kinds of things you have questions about. If you want me to cover a certain topic, if you want me to address a certain thing, I would love to do that. Let me tell you what's been going on in my life a little bit. I'm a part of a cohort, which is a group of people who meet together weekly. And in this cohort, we're learning how to better utilize video for our ministry. It's actually called vlogyourministry.com. That's where the cohort came from. And there's a guy, Trey Van Camp. He's a church planter as well. And he has really kind of dialed this in and figured out how to influence his area through online video, vlogging, and other kinds. And so he's really encouraged me, and I'm learning a lot through this series. That's what helped me kind of get into this more regular online live video stuff. Anyways, so as a part of being a part of that cohort, I'm also in a challenge with those guys called Veda. That's what this little sign is. You can't really see it. It's out of focus. Where am I pointing? Right here. And it's vlog every day in April, or you can say video every day in April. So I'm doing that. It's a very big challenge for me because the last 2 nights I've been editing and uploading at the 11th hour, literally. It was 11 something both nights when I uploaded. So anyway, I'm having fun with that, but I'm also learning a ton in the process. I'm learning how to tell visual stories better. I'm learning how to find the story in the everyday, and I really enjoy that. So that's what's going on in my life, and if you want to check that out, you certainly can. It's, on my stuff, so you can find that. But as a part of that, yesterday, I'm trying to find the file now. I spent a good amount of time yesterday doing something that I learned from Trey, and that's creating a Facebook video ad for our church. So I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But before I do that, and while I find that file, I'm going to share with you David and Amy Gallion's We Are Two Cities video. We showed it 2 weeks ago in service. We showed it in our 10 Before last Sunday. And now for its online debut and premiere, with no further ado, except I can't find it, can I? Except give me a second, because I thought I had this queued up. Talks amongst yourselves. Hey, if you watch the replays on this, that's awesome. Really appreciate it. I also love getting the live interaction as well. And I would love to know if you are watching. So leave a comment if you'd like. Let's see, David and Amy Gallion. Here we go. Here is the video.
Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Amy.
And we are Two Cities.
So we've been married for 14 years. It'll be 15 years in June. kids. There's 3 biological kids, 2 adopted daughters, and 1 foster baby that we will be adopting.
Instagram.
The next couple months.
Sometime in May, hopefully. Our oldest daughter is 19. Our second oldest is 18. Brandon is 14. And we have 2 12-year-olds and a 16-month-old.
I'm a store manager for Save Mart, located on First and Bullard. Been with the company for about 12 years. Hopefully could retire in about 8.5 more years.
So I work part-time at the elementary school right here in our neighborhood. I am the lunch yard duty.
And she loves being around the kids.
I like a few things about Fresno and Clovis. One is kind of a common thing that a lot of people like is that we're close to the beach, we're close to the mountains, so it's easy to get to where you want to be. But the other thing I like is that it has a small town feel. They're both pretty large cities, a lot of people, but you'll find, especially on social media, everyone is connected somehow in some way, and so it still has that small town feel, which I like. So we both grew up in church our whole lives. Our last church we attended for about 10 years, but it was just time to move on. And so we started church shopping about 2 years ago. We started visiting different churches, and our sister Jennifer actually was invited here by one of her friends. And so we come as a package deal. So we came with them. We love the church. It's a little far from our home, so we decided to try out a few more churches, but we kept being called back to Two Cities. Everything just aligns with what we believe in, our values, and outreach and helping the unchurched is more important to us than anything else, and so we just wanted to be a part of what's happening here. So currently our family is serving in a few areas. It's one of our favorite things to do. I think serving in the church is huge, and I love to see my kids get involved. So right now my daughter Taylor and I are greeters every other Sunday, and then all 3 of my girls, Taylor, Cassie, and Miracle, all help in Wambaland and Upstreet, and so they've been loving that. And Pastor Mike has done a great job of working on getting my boys involved. They're not as sold into serving as the girls are, but he's doing a good job at working at that. And so we also stay after church to help tear down whenever we're all there. So one of my favorite things about Two Cities is the balance that I've seen with the fun and the outreach. So there's a lot of opportunity to just hang out with family and friends, and then there's a ton of outreach too, which is near and dear to our hearts. My husband and I and our friend Carol Hoover actually started the whole Christmas on G Street, May Day on G Street events, and so we actually visited Two Cities a while back before we became permanently part of the church, and instantly this church population was a big part of those events. And for such a small church, there's a big influence and a big showing of people and volunteers, which I was really impressed with at our very first event. Yeah, so one of the outreaches I loved around Christmas time was the juvenile hall Christmas party. I had never served in any kind of jail or prison capacity, so that was eye-opening for me, but I loved it. Okay, so I think our biggest win since coming to Two Cities has been watching our girls get back involved in church and serving. When you leave a church after being there for so long, there's no matter what the circumstances, there's a healing process that has to take place. And so it was a little bit hard to leave our last place. So to watch them dive right in and be, not only do it, but to be excited, and it was their idea, not mine. That's been huge for us. And then we've also made some really good friends since we've been here. And that's important to us too. We believe in that whole little saying, it takes a village to raise your kids, and this is a nice little village to be a part of. We are the Galleons.
We are Two Cities.
Well, awesome. Sorry about those couple little audio glitches. Again, it's hard to run the whole thing on your own, with all the buttons and switches and all that kind of stuff. And I forget that I'm supposed to look up here to the camera, and I look at my screen over here and back and forth. And so I'm sorry for the eye switching, and I'm looking between 3 different things. Anyways, I just really appreciate the Galleons taking the time to be a part of that, allowing us to go into their home, move furniture around, capture a little bit of their story. And there's something that we're kind of in the works of trying to figure out the details of, but there's so much of the people's stories that we're missing that are a part of these We Are Two Cities videos. And so what I'd really like to do is sit down with them and sort of create long form content, like in like a podcast interview format, and get more and tease out some of the story and learn more about what their life is like and how God has interacted with their life, changed their life, and how they're following Him in the steps that they're taking now. So I'm hoping that we can go back and capture that with some of the people that we've already done videos with, and then and sort of release those later, after the videos, much later. And I think that'll give us a better, more holistic understanding of their walk with Jesus. And I would love for that to take place. And I think that will help inspire you and inform you to know how to take those sorts of steps as well, because growing and following Jesus is all about taking baby steps to becoming more and more like Him, to be more and more like Jesus in how you treat others and how you follow Him. So anyways, I think that would be a lot of fun. I would like to do that. I don't have a release date for that. You're the first people to hear about that. But honestly, you're probably the best audience for that because you're already engaged in a digital way. So be on the lookout for that. Again, no official release date. I want to give you just a couple of thoughts from Sunday's message. We've been talking through the life of David, and David is a really interesting character. He's got some real highs and some real lows, and we've talked about a couple of those things. And this past Sunday, we talked about kind of when he was kinged, when he was anointed and prayed over by all the tribes of Israel, and how he led his tribe Judah for a while, and then the others joined him when Saul's son died, who was king over the other 11 tribes. So the kingdom was united, and David became king. But what was really interesting, and even in that kind of coronation ceremony, or whatever you want to call it, even in that, he's making a covenant with the people. I will do this if you will do this. He's making promises, but he also invites God into it, and he realizes, and he seems to indicate that he understands he's not the king, he's a king, and that they are together still under the kingship and rule of God. And so I just think that's really impressive. But if you fast forward, some time, you will find that in the city of David, Jesus is born, and he is then the king, and he is the ultimate king, right? And both of them have this attitude of serving other people. And I'm going to just refer to just a passage and a story found in John. And there's this time, and you know this story. It's in the upper room. It is Passover. They're having the famous Last Supper, and Jesus he washes the feet of the disciples, and he washes their feet, and they're kind of refusing it, and like, don't wash my feet, I don't deserve that. And then one of them gets super religious and is like, well, if you're gonna wash my feet, wash me all over. I want to be that guy who goes all out. And he's like, listen, the point is you need to be servants of others. In fact, let's just read it here. John 13 verse 16, very truly I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you'll be blessed if you do them. In other words, if you serve other people, and you serve other people with your whole heart, and you try to do, as it says in Philippians, to view others as more important than yourself. If you try to serve other people in that way, it's going to do you a lot of good too, and you'll be blessed for that. And so I just want to encourage us to try to imitate Christ in viewing other people as more important than ourselves, as serving other people. In fact, we've been asking this question for quite a while now, is how can we help and how can we give more of our lives away, and how can we help other people give more and more of their lives away, because that's what Jesus did. He gave his entire life away. So I just want to remind you of that. And this one principle that we talked about on Sunday, that leadership is stewardship and I am accountable. Say that with me. Leadership is stewardship and I am accountable. And so you got to understand that everything you have, everything you've been given in life to manage, to steward in God's name, to do for him, because every good thing you have is from God and you have been given that for a purpose, for a reason. You were created on purpose for a purpose. I say that to my son every single night, all my kids. When I put them to bed, that's one of the truths that I tell them. You were created on purpose for a purpose. And don't lose sight of that, because your life is stewardship and you're accountable. And you're going to give an account of how you spent your life, not just your money, not just your time, but also your influence, your impact, your authority, your position, your title, whatever it is. So leadership is stewardship and I am accountable. I just want you to realize that and see that. All right. So that's my little kind of button on Sunday's message. Sometimes I have thoughts afterwards, or sometimes I have thoughts before them, like I just can't fit this in the time frame. And so I like to come on here and give you a couple other thoughts. I also want to share with you the Facebook Easter ad that I created yesterday. And Ryan McGrail shot the drone footage for me this past Sunday. And then I shot all the other footage kind of, vlog style, like camera in hand kind of thing. And the whole goal, and I learned this from another pastor that did this and has had great success in this. The whole goal of it is to try to help people understand us personally, not just organizationally, that we're not just a brand, we're not just some church out there, but we're a group of people. The church is not a building. It's not a singular individual. It's a group of people that meet together. And videos like this help people understand kind of the context. And so hopefully it will give clarity to people if they want to come visit, kind of what they can expect. And they won't be caught off guard or surprised. This is who we are and this is what's up. Yes, Jose. There we go. Jose is asking me, still want me to come shoot the Easter event? Yes, we have an Easter outreach event coming up on the 13th of April. Still need you, man. It's from 11 to 1. And if you want to volunteer, we still need a ton of volunteers. So please, if you would like to be a part of that, I would love for you to be a part of that. Got some hearts coming. Okay, so here's the Facebook Easter ad that I created yesterday. I hope you enjoy it. I'll try not to get my little box in the corner of the screen here this time. Let's see what we can do. So I'm really trying to grab your attention. We're a church that meets in the Clovis Veterans Memorial District building in Old Town Clovis. And a lot of people have questions about where that is and when we meet. And so I think it's best if I just take you there myself. Here we are at the Clovis Veterans Memorial District building, and I'm just going to take you inside. First of all, you've got plenty of parking around here. There's tons of covered parking you can see. Let's go inside and check it out. So then you're going to want to come in these main doors. When you come, we'll have guest services hanging out. They'll be opening the doors for you. Ryan's going to do it for me. See? That's good. I like it. Thanks, Ryan. So we're going to be right in here as you come in to the left for our Easter service. We're going to be right in this area. But before we go in there, let's go over here. That's where you're going to be checking in your kids. So if you've got kids, make sure you come early to leave a little bit of time to check in, because we do some fun stuff right at the top of the service, and I don't want you to miss it. Let's check out the kids' rooms. So this is Wombaland. This is where our preschool kids and babies come. It's a nice, clean, safe environment for kids to come hang out. We try to make it colorful and fun for them. I just think you'll love it. I think your kids are gonna love it. We love kids, so make sure that you bring them and check them in here. Let's check out Upstreet. So this is Upstreet, where our elementary age kids meet and hang out, and we got some awesome volunteers that are hanging out with them today. They go in our service for music, and then they come in here for small group, and they do a craft, and they learn a story, and they're learning something every week. We think it's very important, so you should bring them. Okay, now that you've seen where the kids go, let's check out the room that we're gonna be in on Easter, which is the same room that we're in today. Oh, we also have Keurigs and swag and donuts. Here's the room that we're hanging out in. They're getting stuff set up for this morning. We would really love for you to join us on Easter, hang out with us. It's gonna be a lot of fun from 10:30 Easter Sunday morning. God bless. All right, so I hope you liked that. I think it's a lot of fun. It took me a good amount of time to do that yesterday, so I'm excited about that. Hey, Victor was just texting me earlier asking me how many fruit cups we need from the Smith camps for our Easter outreach, and I told him 3,000. So hopefully you can work that into your magic, buddy. And he's going to be our grill master at that event, so excited about that as well. Okay, that's about all I've got for you today. I'll be back on Friday to do a little live to tell you some things coming up, some opportunities. I'll drop some links in the description on Facebook, Instagram. You can come on over for that, and so you can interact with some of the opportunities we have coming up. All right, God bless you guys, and I'll see you soon.